Hello everyone. We're gonna start the next exercise now. I'm gonna skip exercise 4 because it's the same as exercise 2, where it asks you what the program is gonna print. And so I'm gonna skip exercise 4 because it's the same thing where it asks you what the program is gonna print. You can just calculate this on a piece of paper and then write out what you think is gonna print, and then copy and paste this into the program, and then print that out and then see if your answer matches up with what happens here. And so we're going to do exercise 5 here, which is to write a program that prompts for two integers, a and b. It will print all the integers from a to b on separate lines. For those integers that are even, print the word even on that line as well. For example, a equals 4 and b equals 8. 4 is even, 5, 6 is even, 7, 8 is even. I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. It wants us here to have b to be greater than a. I'm gonna create it so that whichever one is greater than the other, we'll print it that way, and not just so much be focused on making sure that b is greater than a. Just in the case that a is greater than b, it won't crash the entire program. So let's open up our Python stuff here. So we'll do what we always do first. We'll do a equals integer of the raw input, and we'll do enter and integer, and then we'll do the same for b. B equals int raw underscore input, and then we'll do enter and integer. And now let's see, we'll do the first case, which here says if b is greater than a. So we'll do if b is greater than or equal to a. So anyway, this program, it should be a little easier than this one right here. Well, at least I think it's a lot easier. There's not as much error checking as this one, so it shouldn't be as hard. So just prepare yourselves to not be completely baffled over this program. It's a lot easier probably than we'll make it out to be. So we'll do if b is greater than or equal to a, while a is less than or equal to b, if a mod or divisor of 2 equals 0, which means if a is even, then print a comma even, right? Because over here it wants us to print even right next to the even number, and then else print a. So, and then we want to increment a by 1 plus equals 1. So let's see. Let's run this. So we'll enter integer. We'll make sure the first one is less than this one, and then okay, there we go. 2 even, 3, 4 even, 5. So it went from 2 to 5, and then it'll print even next to the even numbers. I want to put enter another integer. Just, I don't know, I'm weird like that. So I want to do the same thing for in the case that a is greater than or equal to b. It's essentially the same code here. You just have to replace a with b and so on and so on. So it's the while b is less than or equal to a, if b divisor of 2 equals 0. So if b is even, we'll print b comma even. So whenever there's an even number, same thing here, when this is even, it'll print that number and then the word even next to it. And so we'll do the same thing here, and we'll do else print b. And so when it's not an even number, it'll just print the number by itself. And then, what am I doing? Oh, and then A or B plus equals 1. Let me change this to an elif statement, because then it'll just run through both of these. This is probably not necessary, but just in case, to make it a lot more smoother, more efficient code. So let's see, we'll do 1 to 10. So we'll enter 1, 10. So 1, 2 is even, 4 is even, 6 is even, 8 is even, 10 is even. And let's try it the other way. We'll do 10 to 1, and we get the same result. So it is a lot simpler. Then exercise 3 is we prompt the user for 2 integers, and then we make an if statement. Either one. If you just want to have it where b is greater than a, then you just have to look at this one. If you just want to, if you're like me and just want to mess around with this, then you add another one. It's really unnecessary here. But if b is greater than or equal to a, while a is less than or equal than b, if a divisor of 2 leaves no remainder, which would be numbers like 2, 4, 6, even numbers essentially, print a and then have the word even next to it. Some people will make the mistake of doing this and then this might still work. Let's see. Yeah, it still works, but it's just a whole nother unnecessary line. You can just have it here and then comma even. This comma you have to do whenever you're separating an integer and a string. So if I want to do this and then do b, you have to put a comma. If I take out the comma, it'll crash. Yeah, there's a syntax error, so it'll just crash. So that's what the comma's for. So this is necessary. And then if it's not even, there's just print the number by itself, and then we'll increment that value by 1 until it's equal to b. And that's how you do the 5th exercise. I made sure to have it correct up here. And so that's how you do that. So I enjoyed making these videos. They're pretty simple, and I hope it helps a lot of people. I really am considering doing the homeworks. I will probably just have to do different codes, different variables than I would do for my own program, so that way I won't get into trouble for putting my code on the internet for others to copy. I'll just do different programs altogether. So I might still do the homeworks for some of you who get confused on the homework and don't know how to start it or what the question is asking. So just give me some feedback on the comments and see if this helped you, if this didn't help you, if I'm not clear about certain things, if you can't hear my voice correctly, or you can't see the program, or I'm going too fast, or I'm not explaining things enough. Just leave it in the comments, and I'll make sure to make this a better video or better tutorial for how to do these things. So thanks.